festivalcircuit.com and the director of the Houston Comedy Film Festival. We have a film festival event coming up in just a couple of days in Houston on Saturday, the 13th. And in the Houston Comedy Film Festival, we are featuring a film called Perfect Match, which Regina Melzer is nominated for the Best Acting Performance Award. We're excited to screen this film. Today to talk about it is director Lynda Reiss. Hello, Lynda.
Hi, Michael. Nice to be here. Thank you for selecting Perfect Match and giving Regina the big thumbs up, which is great.
The judges are just impressed. They really, overall the film, has great ratings, but every scorecard had Regina on it in some way, shape, or form. What was it like to work with her, and how did you get her in this film?
I had this film. The writer of this film, Jana Brown, and I are working on two other projects, both features. One was a drama, and when we were having a story meeting about the drama during COVID, which everything was on Zoom, something happened in that thing that triggered this story. And the women that we talked about in this story, and I can't give you the exact thing that happened because it will give away the movie.
Sure.
But when we and I said, oh my God, that would be such a great little short. And she wrote it overnight, and I read it the next day. And Alice's character, I knew right then that Regina would be the perfect person for that. And Regina, everybody in this film, one way or another, is connected through the festival circuit. We all met and connected at various festivals.
Wow.
And we've all stayed in touch, and I wanted to work with them. And so I knew, but it sat there for 2 years because it's much lighter as content than my normal genre, which tends to be a little bit darker or more bleak. And then because everything shut down during COVID, and I hadn't the opportunity, because I'm a director, I don't shoot, so I've not got cameras and make movies at home. I bring a DP in for that kind of stuff. I couldn't be I made 5 movies during COVID director. But I knew as soon as we came out, I wanted to do something. And I knew that film I could shoot in my house. I knew that I could get the women involved on board. And I knew that I could do it relatively cheaply. And those were also exercises for me, because my last 2 shorts have been bigger. Trucks, people on location, building sets, all sorts of stuff. And I would go to festivals and I would see filmmakers, and they were like, I made this in my house for $500. And I was like, why can't I make a movie for $500 in my house? No, I always have to be big and huge. And so it was an exercise in that. It was also an exercise for me in, can I make a conversation? Because I want to direct TV. Can I make a conversation between 2 people over 6 minutes, something interesting to watch? Granted, the story is a huge portion of that, but still got to be able to figure out quick ways to shoot. And so it was little exercises. A lot of it was exercises for me. And then when we finished and I showed it to people, everybody loved it. Everybody loved it who saw it. And I'm like, I got to send it out. I got to send it out for all the cast and crew who worked, well, there's only 8 of us, but send it out so that they all get that exposure too. And I really, Regina especially, should be a season regular on television somewhere. She's just got such a great voice, such a great face. She's so expressive. She's just like the great quirky friend character, and should be on TV somewhere. And why she's not is beyond me.
Yeah, no, that was very informative answer, and I enjoy hearing the stories about what happened during COVID with people being resourceful instead of giving up, working with what you have, and for you to come out of all those the lockdowns and the social distancing and the huge societal change our whole world undertook during that time, to come out of there with comedy was even better. So
that was the
kudos to
other
you.
thing. I realized that, it's like I've got other things bubbling under all over. But I'm like, you know what? People just want to laugh. People need to take a breath and laugh right now and have something that's all it is. It's not saying anything else, doesn't have any deep meaning, doesn't have any incredible social message. It's just a cute little movie that makes you smile. And I just, that for me, as somebody who wants to entertain on various different levels, it was also, it was a good thing for me to do, to be able to show, yeah, I can do lighter if you need it as a director.
Sure. Yeah. Good stuff. And I skipped over the part. What's the synopsis of your film? I don't want to give it away. So in
Oh,
your own
okay.
words.
So it's about a woman who is looking for her soulmate, and she asks her best friend to come over and help her scour the internet to find her perfect match. And there's a little twist at the end. That's it.
Did you learn anything from the production of this specifically? Is there anything you learned just during the process from this film?
I learned that it was, for me, it was a little bit more validation. That I went into it thinking, we shot this all in a day, and I just knew, it's like, with that kind of conversation thing going on, there's only so many angles with this particular story that you could do. And I was like, okay, well, we're going to shoot this way, then we're going to shoot this way, then we're going to shoot this way, and then we're going to come on behind and we can punch in, and then I'll have all of this footage to play around with just to find the right angles. But I'll have the performance. I won't have to chop and change the performance or go back and say, oh, you know how you didn't take 3 of that angle? You did this with your head or something. I could just let the girls run all the way through. And they're both theater trained. So they basically, we went 7 minutes straight each take. But it worked. And so for me, that was what I learned, was like, okay, yes, you can do it that way. It could have been totally blown up in my face, and at the end of the day been like, okay, now I have nothing to work. Sure. But that and also, when you're going small, we were talking before we started rolling about sound and things like that, and I'm a big sound advocate, and coloring, post color, and all those things are really important. I didn't have an on-set makeup and hair person. And one thing I learned was that the girls can do their own makeup, but once we're rolling, nobody's going in there to touch up for sheens and that kind of stuff. And I realized, not that it's horrible and you notice it, I notice it as the filmmaker, that's something I should have had.
Sure.
Because, the girls were able to do their own hair and makeup, and we talked about what it was going to look like, and did it in such a way that we didn't have to worry too much about somebody's hair falling this way or whatever. But there was still, there was just like, skin sheen that you get, that when you're on film sets, normally somebody's coming in and
last looks,
that they're not shiny. So that was something that I realized, you can economize and be smart. I mean, I asked my DP, when I met the DP, Haley, I said to her, one of, again, my exercise of going small, I said, I want to light with practicals. I don't want any exterior light. I don't want any of those things. I want you to light with the lights that are in there. And she came up with these amazing bulbs that are just like regular light bulbs. They go in, but they run the whole temperature spectrum from an iPad. Wow. Amazing. But we didn't have any extra lights. All the lights that are on them are lights that are in the set.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Again, which meant that we could move really fast. So that
Yeah.
again is something that I learned. Like if I'm on a production somewhere and I know I've got this amount of time in a location or something else, I can go, hey, you know what? Why don't we use those bulbs? Because then I can get in there and I don't have to worry about, turning around or doing any of those things. It's just one guy with an iPad going, okay, turn that one up, turn that one down, temperature, on that one. So it was,
Mhm.
that was good.
Very cool. Well, what do you got? What do you got going for the future? What's next?
I have, I'm working on another short that we're playing around with, trying to, we would like to try and fund it in a different way rather than, but both the other writer and I both feel that we've sort of exhausted the family and friends funding concept. Um, and we'd like to, we're looking at different ways to try and to raise the funds for this other short. I am writing, the Jana who wrote Perfect Match and I are writing a comedy, and part of that came from doing Perfect Match, that we were like, can we just write something fun and funny and amusing? So we're writing that. And I have another feature that we're out shopping, and I have a TV limited series that's being read by production companies right now. So there's all sorts of things going on. Something's going to stick.
Awesome. Well, it sounds like you're working a lot. Well, we're excited to screen this film first in the lineup in Houston, and so I'm sure that the audience in Texas is going to get a kick out of just you set the bar high, right out of the gate.
Oh,
So
well, thank you, thank you.
we
Yeah, I wish I
appreciate
could be
that.
there, but I'm hoping a friend of mine is going to be able to attend. So that would be really
Good.
good. Have a great day,
Thank you. I
and thank
appreciate it. If there's anything,
thank you so much for the selection and for nominating Regina. And I'd like to thank my whole crew, everybody. Go Team
yeah,
Perfect Match.
good job. Well, thank you for your time today, and enjoy your weekend.
You too. Thanks, Michael.
Thank you.
Bye.